An estimated 4.7 million accounts have played the pit since its release in 2018. But among those 4.7 million accounts, only a few stand out, such as Lagua, Alto of Ottman, which holds the record for fastest Prestige 20, at 1 hour and 45 minutes. 1 hour and 45 minutes is ridiculous, especially considering the cooldown for Prestiges is 2 hours. The record time was accomplished with Volley Devil Trick Spawn, which to this day is the most efficient anyone could or will ever bot. Another account which is a result of Oddman and Jeffrey Collins buying is Alpha White Male, which has a record 115,076,000 gold, but that's the account with the most gold. So you may be wondering, what account has the least gold? And you're probably thinking there's a lot of accounts tied for having 0 gold, but the account Baroque AFK has negative 1,000 gold. This is only possible because of the enchant hedge fund, which costs you 50 gold every time you die. The owner of this account, Baroque, has another account, Baroque AFK, which is much more interesting. The account looks like the standard Prestige 11 at first, until you look at its stats. 0 kills, 0 assists, and 0 sword hits. This account has not dealt damage, and yet it is Prestige 11. After Brooke's friends mocked her PvP abilities and challenged her to get Prestige 1 without kills, she just kept going. They started to get worried when she hit Prestige 5, and now she's almost Prestige 12. She only gains gold through minor events and fishing, and gains XP primarily through the Olympus potion you get every 3 deaths. The farthest you could get from the account with no kills is the account with no deaths that has reached Prestige 22, Fauna Sky. Back in 2019 when hardbuying was being pioneered, Hazel and Ochel were hardbuying and got an account to Prestige 22 without a single death. This account got 104,000 kills and has the highest KD at an unbeatable 104,000. This is not Hazel's only unique account, as she has another account named Short Sushi. Short Sushi looks decently normal at first glance. In Pit, when you get traded an item but your inventory is full, it goes into a stash, which you could unstash later. Hazel's stash contains 362,624 fish. I'm not joking. I assume this was done by doing a full ender chest dupe, where you could dupe 30 stacks at once. But I talked to Hazel, and no, this was from fish dupe. This is the one where you unplug your router, and you could dupe 1 stack of fish. The time to dupe 1 stack and stash it's decently long, and there are 5,666 stacks of fish in this stash. It takes a long time just to scroll to the bottom. And she did this manually. I asked her, she did not do this with a bot. Hazel genuinely scares me. Another interesting stash is that of Fire Ghost. Fire Ghost had about 960 slots taken up, which although is about 1/5 what Hazel has, is not just one item. After the 1.0.5 update, items in your stash began to lose lives, so Fire Ghost had to transfer 705 of the items onto an alt, and since you could only trade 8 items at a time, and you have to trade twice the stash, she had to do about 200 trades. Another thing to add is Fire Ghost's stash on her alt is comprised mostly of mystics, which are much more hard to obtain than duping a stack of fish. Which stash is more ridiculous? I'm not sure. Also, at about 3,600 hours, Fire Ghost has the record for slowest Prestige 35, and I think is among the most hours legitimately played. AFK scripting, however, can get you some pretty strange things. By AFKing 4,000 hours, the IGN Pit community got enough 100 gold bounties from the Everyone Gets a Bounty event to get a 99,200 gold bounty. In the pit, staff can hand out admin cookies. They don't do anything, but they're a cool souvenir. Out of the over 1,000 cookies across over 800 accounts, 80% of them duped and owned by Hazel, there's only one admin cookie that was not handed out by Miniclune. This cookie was handed out by staff member Otium, who works on Hightail and exists on the account Block21. An honorable mention is Gerard's, who has 3,600 hours at Prestige 17, and all he did was fish. He fished and he was racist in chat. I don't get how he did this for 3,600 hours, but that's who he was. He fished, second most fish caught. It's ridiculous, man. To be honest, I'm still contemplating the fish stash. That's about it. See ya.